When I first met Walter, he was 82, but you wouldn't guess it by the way he moved. Brisk morning walks, steady hands while fixing his old Chevy, and the kind of spark in his eyes that made you forget the number on his birth certificate. Meanwhile, just a few doors down, his younger brother Harold, only 67, was already using a cane, spending most of his day in a recliner, winded after walking to the mailbox. Same parents, same upbringing, different outcomes. I asked Walter once, "What's your secret?" He smiled and said, "It's not a secret, son. It's just 6 things I never stopped doing." And that's what this story is about. Not miracles, not magic, not some expensive supplement. Just 6 simple, science-backed habits, ones you can start today, that helped Walter stay strong, clear-minded, and full of life long after most of his friends had given up. This video isn't about fear. It's about freedom. Freedom to move without pain, to remember names without effort, to live fully, not just exist, after 50, 60, 70, and beyond. If you're ready to reclaim your energy, protect your brain, and feel strong in your own body again, no matter your age, you're in the right place. And if you haven't already, take a second to subscribe so you never miss these kinds of real, doable strategies for living well as you age. Because what Walter knew, what thousands of vibrant seniors around the world are proving every day, is that aging doesn't have to mean fading. It can mean thriving, if you build your days around these 6 golden habits. So let's begin with the first one. It's the one Walter says save his legs and his mind. Ready? Let's walk into it. Habit number 1, daily walking. Walter didn't start walking for health. He started because he couldn't stand feeling useless. It happened one morning. He was trying to help his granddaughter fix a wobbly bookshelf, but halfway through, he had to sit down, gasping. His legs trembled. His chest tightened. He told himself it was just the humidity. But deep down, he knew his body was giving up before his will did. That afternoon, he made a decision. He put on his old sneakers, stepped outside, and walked to the end of the block. It took him 9 minutes. "That was the most humbling 9 minutes of my life," he said later. But also the most important. That walk, slow, shaky, uncomfortable, became the beginning of something remarkable. He did it again the next day, and the next. A week later, he could go 2 blocks. A month later, he walked a mile every morning before breakfast. 2 years later, at 82, he was walking faster and farther than he had in his 50s. But here's the thing. Walter's story isn't rare. It's just unheard. Because no one tells these stories. No one celebrates these quiet comebacks. But science backs them up. According to Harvard Medical School, walking just 30 minutes a day can reduce your risk of heart disease by up to 40%. It improves blood pressure, boosts circulation, reduces joint stiffness, and even helps regulate blood sugar. And the benefits don't stop at your body. Your brain loves walking too. A study from Stanford University found that walking increases creative thinking by up to 60%. It also improves memory, mood, and mental clarity, especially in adults over 60. It's like your body saying, "Thank you, one step at a time." Let me share another story. Cynthia, 69, had been feeling isolated. Her knees hurt. She gained weight during lockdown. She said, "I felt like my world had shrunk to just 4 walls." Her doctor told her to try a simple goal: walk to the mailbox and back twice a day. At first, she resisted. "That's not exercise," she scoffed. But she did it anyway. She started noticing things again: the smell of pine after rain, kids laughing down the street, a neighbor's cat always watching from a window. 3 weeks in, she realized something. She was smiling again. "I wasn't just walking," she said. "I was waking up." That's the power of daily walking. It's not about marathons. It's about momentum, the kind that rebuilds strength, restores mental clarity, and reconnects you with life, one step at a time. And here's what's beautiful. You don't need a gym. You don't need to be in shape. You just need shoes and a reason. Try this. Start with 5 minutes after lunch, or walk the hallways during commercial breaks, or take a slow loop around your garden before the sun sets. It doesn't matter how far. What matters is you begin. Because every step you take is a message to your body. I still care. I'm still here. And when you walk consistently, you begin to feel it. Less stiffness, better sleep, clearer thoughts, calmer moods. You start looking forward to movement instead of dreading it. Some seniors say it feels like adding years to their life. But more importantly, it feels like adding life to their years. So if you're feeling tired, heavy, unmotivated, don't wait for the perfect moment. Walk. Just walk. And remember what Walter says. The walk saved my legs, but it saved my spirit first. Ready for habit number 2? It's the one thing that feeds your cells, your brain, your energy, and yes, even your joy. Let's talk food. Not diet, but something far more powerful. Shall we? Habit number 2, eat to live long, not to live fast. Her name was Evelyn. She turned 68 and realized she couldn't remember the last time she cooked a real meal. Breakfast, toast. Lunch, deli meat sandwich. Dinner, microwave pasta or drive-through burgers. It was quick. It was easy. And I thought I was too old to change. But then came the warnings. Her blood pressure was climbing. Her cholesterol numbers were worrisome. Her knees ached. Her energy dipped by noon. And then, one afternoon, her doctor looked her in the eye and said, "You're feeding disease, not health." That line shook her. Not because it was dramatic, but because it was true. She wasn't eating to live. She was eating to keep going, barely. So Evelyn made one decision. Not a huge diet overhaul. Not a fancy cleanse. She just added one thing. A bowl of steamed spinach with garlic and olive oil to her dinner. Then she added carrots to lunch. Then replaced morning toast with eggs and avocado. 6 months later, she lost 15 pounds without trying. Her blood pressure normalized. She said her mind felt like it got a fresh coat of paint. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Because here's the truth. Every bite you take is a message to your body. It says, heal or break down, inflame or restore, thrive or fade. After 50, food becomes medicine or poison. There is no neutral. Let's break down what really works. Real food, real power. Leafy greens like kale, spinach, and collards give you vitamin K for strong bones and circulation. Fatty fish like salmon or sardines bring in omega-3s, brain protectors, joint lubricators. Berries deliver antioxidants to fight inflammation and memory loss. Whole grains like oats or quinoa give you long-lasting energy without the sugar crash. Nuts and seeds offer healthy fats and minerals for heart and nerve health. And don't forget hydration. Most people over 60 lose their sense of thirst, but your cells still need water to flush toxins, regulate temperature, and support digestion. Tip: can't drink plain water? Add lemon, cucumber, or mint for flavor. Still think food is just about calories? A study published in Neurology found that seniors following a Mediterranean-style diet had a 30% lower risk of cognitive decline. 30%, just by choosing real food over box snacks. This isn't a diet. It's a return of food that looks like it came from nature. Let me tell you about Sam. He's 72 and was struggling with memory fog, bloating, and a growing gut. He started replacing his sugary cereal with overnight oats and berries. He began making simple soups from scratch, lentils, garlic, greens, and he snacked on a handful of walnuts instead of chips. 3 months in, he felt sharper, lighter, and less moody. "I didn't know food could be this powerful," he said. "I thought that kind of change was for younger people." But here's the thing. You're never too old to nourish yourself. What to cut, what to keep. No one's asking you to go raw vegan, count every calorie, or never touch ice cream again. But there's a world of difference between treating yourself and feeding slow poison daily. If you're still relying on microwave dinners, sliced white bread, packaged snacks, or sweet drinks, processed meats, then your body is fighting inflammation all day, every day. And inflammation is the root of almost every age-related disease. Arthritis, Alzheimer's, heart disease, diabetes. But I've eaten this way my whole life, you might say. Sure, but what worked at May 30th harm you at 65. Your engine's older, it needs cleaner fuel now. Here's a simple way to judge your plate. If it looks like it could grow in a garden or swim in a river, eat it. If it comes in a box with 25 ingredients you can't pronounce, skip it. Still not convinced? Know this. What you eat affects how you feel, mentally and emotionally. High sugar, high processed diets are linked to anxiety and depression in older adults. Meanwhile, omega-3s, greens, and B vitamin-rich foods help stabilize mood and support cognitive function. So next time you're feeling off, check your plate before blaming your age. What you put in your body directly shapes how you show up for your day. And just like Evelyn and Sam, you can start with one change. One real meal. One fresh bite. One better choice. You're not eating to lose weight. You're eating to gain life. Because when your body feels strong, your mind gets sharper. When your digestion works, your joints stop screaming. When you eat to live, you live with purpose, clarity, and strength. Habit number 3. Keep your mind fit. Martha always loved puzzles. As a little girl, she'd sit with her father at the kitchen table, piecing together landscapes under the soft hum of the radio. It was their quiet tradition. Years later, after she retired from teaching, Martha found herself returning to those puzzles. Only now, the radio had been replaced by silence, and her memory wasn't what it used to be. At first, it was just a misplaced word. Then, forgetting where she left her keys. Then, one day, she blanked on her grandson's name mid-sentence. That's when fear crept in. Was it normal? Or was something slipping? She went to the doctor. The tests were fine, but the warning was clear. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. That night, Martha sat at her kitchen table again, alone this time, and she opened a crossword book. That was 3 years ago. Today, she does a puzzle every morning, reads 2 novels a month, and even started learning Spanish through an app. She laughs more, remembers more, feels more like herself again. Because here's the truth no one tells you. Your brain is just like a muscle, and if you want to stay sharp, you have to train it. Aging doesn't have to mean decline, but passivity does. Think about it. How many people you know lost their physical strength just because they stopped moving? The same is true for the mind. Memory fades not just because of age, but because we stop challenging our thoughts. We switch from solving to scrolling, from writing to watching, from engaging to simply existing. But here's the good news. Every day is a chance to train your brain. You don't need a fancy program. You don't need hours of your time. You just need to choose stimulation over sedation. Read a book, do a crossword, learn a new recipe, tell a story from your childhood to someone younger. Each of these lights up a part of your brain that would otherwise go dim. And if you're someone who feels like it's too late, let me tell you about Joe. Joe is 79, a retired truck driver from Michigan. He spent most of his days watching TV until one of his friends had a stroke and lost his ability to speak. It rattled Joe, so he picked up a journal and started writing. At first, just a few lines about his day, then memories, then ideas. A year later, he's writing short stories, not because he wants to publish them, but because he wants to remember. He says it's like waking up a part of himself he thought was gone. Science backs this up. Studies from Harvard, the Mayo Clinic, and the National Institute on Aging show that seniors who engage in regular mental activity, especially new and challenging ones, have better memory retention, slower cognitive decline, and even stronger emotional resilience. And the best part? It doesn't have to be solitary. Social connection is mental exercise too. Every time you have a conversation, your brain has to listen, recall, respond, interpret tone, remember names, understand humor. You're literally working your brain just by chatting with someone over coffee. So don't isolate. Call your grandchild and ask about their day. Join a book club. Try a class at your local community center. And here's another trick. Learn something new. Not perfect it, just attempt it. Whether it's playing piano, trying origami, or even navigating a smartphone, unfamiliar tasks challenge your brain in the best way. They build new neural pathways. They force your mind to stretch. And they send a clear message. This brain is still alive, still working, still growing. You know what's more powerful than any memory supplement? Purpose. When you feel useful, interested, curious, you stay engaged. Your mind stays alert because it has something to show up for. So if you've noticed your memory slipping, don't accept it. Challenge it. Don't fear forgetfulness. Fight it with action, with learning, with curiosity. Because here's the hard truth. When you stop feeding your brain, it doesn't just go hungry. It begins to fade. But the opposite is also true. Every new word you learn, every joke you laugh at, every idea you share, it all keeps your mind fit. You may not be able to control everything about aging, but you can control this. How often you think, how deeply you engage, how fiercely you protect your most powerful tool, your mind. And you're not alone in this. Millions of seniors are taking their mental health into their own hands, not by buying another supplement, but by building habits that challenge their thoughts, stimulate their imagination, and bring their attention back to life. So here's your question. What's one small thing you could do today to stretch your brain? Write it down. Commit to it. Because keeping your mind fit isn't about IQ. It's about consistency. And when your thoughts stay clear, your days feel fuller. Because clarity, presence, and memory, those are the true luxuries of aging well. Let's keep going. You just learned 3 of the most powerful habits that keep you young. Moving your body, feeding it real food, and keeping your mind sharp. But we're not done yet. In the next video, we're going to explore something even more vital. The foundation of your physical independence, and why so many people lose it long before they realize it's happening. We'll talk about the one habit that can rebuild your strength even after 60, the hidden health risk no one talks about enough, and the emotional medicine that could add years, not just to your life, but to the quality of it. If you've ever wanted to feel more stable on your feet, more connected to others, or more alive in your daily rhythm, the next 3 habits are exactly what you need. So don't stop here. Your future self is waiting. Go watch part 2 now, and let's keep building the life you deserve.